Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today on my YouTube channel, where I help folks bring light and guidance into their personal and spiritual awakening. My name is Micah, and today I'm going to share with you 3 tips to help improve your self-worth. First being boundaries. Setting them for yourself. Understanding the importance in boundaries. And what exactly are boundaries and in what areas of your life do you need to set them for yourself, right? 2 is going to be assertive communication. And what exactly assertive communication is and how you can approach that in a conversation without causing the other person to become defensive and then in turn becoming offensive. Now, the third one is going to be how to following your intuition, what your intuition is, your gut for other terminology that's been used. But what is that? What does that feeling feel like? And how do you hone in on it and how do you follow that, right? I know there are some people out there that don't quite understand what it means to follow your gut, but they do it, or they think they do it, or they just have inherently ended up in places and just been okay, right? So first, I'm going to talk about boundaries. What are boundaries, right? What are boundaries? Boundaries are parameters or things that you've set in place to keep yourself sane, to keep yourself going steady without these long periods of what I personally call like falling off the path or draining you, making you feel overtly tired, not able to take care of yourself, not able to have time for yourself. Boundaries are things that you set in place for yourself to ensure that you are staying course, that you're taking care of yourself no matter what, that you're able to maintain your own peace of mind and focus on you while also navigating life as well, right? So boundaries come in many forms. Boundaries come in at work, boundaries come in relationships, boundaries come in families, boundaries come in with yourself, right? You set boundaries in all of these areas to make sure that you feel internally okay at all times. So for instance, boundaries at work. If you're a yes man, yes human, you say yes to everything because you feel obligated to, because you feel like you have to, like it's your duty, saying yes too much can negatively impact you as well. And that I learned the hard way. I was working 40 plus hours a week. I was going to school. And on top of that, I was trying to have a social life as well. And all of this were tied to other things, beliefs, but in order to figure out the beliefs that they were tied to, I had to set boundaries for myself. I had to come into the understanding that while yes, I needed a job and I needed to work, I didn't need to work 40 plus hours a week. I didn't need to pick up everyone else's shift while also trying to go to school and better myself and then try and have a social life, because we are, as humans, innately social beings, so we want to have some sort of social contact, right? But when you're trying to do all of that together because you haven't set boundaries with yourself in one or all of these places, because like I said earlier, boundaries go in all of these places. If you haven't set those boundaries and told yourself like, no, I'm not going to work this way because my intuition, right, which I've talked about, all of these things are linked together because my intuition is telling me, no, I shouldn't, but I'm going to because I don't think I have enough money. Like, it's all interwebbed like that. But by focusing on setting boundaries for yourself, because you already know that you need to work less, you already know you don't want to hang out with that person. You already know that you need to sleep more. You already know that you need to take a shower, more than you are now. You already know these things. So by setting boundaries in the areas that are preventing you from achieving the things that truly matter to you, you will then it will filter over, and then you'll be able to understand how to be assertive in communication, and then you'll understand how to intuitively follow your gut and just do what you know you need to do for yourself. But you have to be able to set boundaries in these places to even get to those other things, because you have to be able to listen to yourself, right? Your boundaries. You have to be able to listen to yourself. Boundaries allows you to listen to yourself. If your intuition, if your gut, which I'll go into now, if your intuition, which is the feeling you get inside on a situation, whether you should or shouldn't, you know what I'm talking about. It's like the butterflies, and I call them butterflies, but it's like this sensation in your stomach area. And that's often linked to something that you're thinking, right? So if you're thinking about, say your boss calls you, and you're thinking about, and your boss is asking you, hey, can you come in? I need you to work this shift plus your shift. And intuitively inside, you're getting this uncomfortable feeling. You don't feel right in going into work, but you say yes anyways. One, because your intuition, your gut is telling you not to go into work. You're not listening to that, so you're not following through with the boundary that you know that you need to set for yourself, which is working a little bit less so you can learn, figure yourself out, right? You got to be able to say no sometimes, because that will allow you to assess things slower. Because if you keep going, because that's what without boundaries, you end up just go, because you're putting yourself in all of these places. What boundaries essentially is being able to say no when you need to and yes when you need to, and discerning between the two. But boundaries can only come if you listen to your intuition and your gut, the feeling that you're getting inside. That feeling that you're getting inside is your higher self, your guides trying to get your attention to do the right thing. And then if you can listen to your guides and understand the boundaries that you need to set with yourself, you will then be able to talk assertively, because all assertive communication is addressing what you need in a situation, not necessarily what you want. Sometimes it starts with what you want, and then you compromise and you get what you need. Because at the end of the day, everything that comes out of a situation is exactly what you need. You just have to trust that intuition, right? Your gut. But that's what assertive communication is talking to somebody else, telling them what you need, and in a respectful manner. It's not pointing fingers or you're doing this wrong and you're doing this wrong and this, that's not what assertive communication is. Assertive communication is, hey, so-and-so or whoever or what, hey, this situation is causing me to feel like this. You don't even have to understand what it is, but just addressing that the situation is causing you to feel like that will allow the other person to sit with what they're doing and allow you to sit with how you're feeling, right? And then you can come to a conclusion as to where it's coming from. But you have to open yourself up and allow that space. And the more you do this, the easier it becomes. It's practice. You have to implement it into your life, and as you do that, the flow will go. And all of these things will show you what you're actually worth, because you're worth more than you're giving yourself credit for. And I had to learn this too. I was putting myself in 100 different places, realizing that I only needed to be in 2, and both of those places filled me up completely. We oftentimes don't follow through with our boundaries or our intuition because we're listening to other people and what they are telling us that we do or do not need. It's time that we start listening to ourselves and finding our self-worth and following through with that and following that path, because that path, that authentic path, what's showing you your authenticity is what's going to get you further, the furthest in life. Life is but a game or a dream. It is what you make of it. It is not what everyone else telling you makes of it. Because we're all living our own lives. We all have a different perspective. And it is our duty to find the information that resonates with us that is going to catapult us further in life. It is not listening to other people tell us what we need to do. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm simply sharing the information that has gotten me to the understanding that I am at. And I hope that you can reach a similar understanding of your own perspective and in your own light. Not my exact perspective, but your perspective. And that is what the boundaries, assertive communication, and listening to your gut and your intuition, those things give you all of this. Like I said, everything is connected. One thing will always lead to the other because they all end up coming to the same conclusion. And that is us being authentic, loving ourselves and everything around us, and understanding that we are all interconnected. And there isn't one thing that isn't a projection of ourselves in some way. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoy this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and like I said in my previous videos, I am still working on that website. The journey has been amazing. It's been purely enlightening, and I've learned a lot within the last couple weeks, and more is to come, and I'm working as fast as I need to, but I just want to let everybody else know that, just as I'm giving y'all this information, I am also taking in this information and implementing it into my life. These are things that I've learned years ago, but now as I share it, as I come into my own a little bit more, these are the things that are helping me the most. And that's why I'm sharing them. It's my message. Peace, love, namaste.